Yeah, the point of this video. Yeah, there's no points.
Ride on, jewel, let your spirit be free with the wind at your back.
Hey, I told you I knew where I was.
Sing loud, jewel, let your heart be your guide in the depths of the thunder. It's your rant and your ride.
All right, today on Rant and Ride. The ride is the same place I went last time, you know, so going towards Virginia City. It's just so I can get 30 minutes or so of riding in, just to be getting into shape and keep in shape. But I'm showing you my new Muc-Off big bore valve stems, and that's going to be my rant today, is talking about valve stems. And it's a ball valve, so if I open that up, all the air rushes out, you know, pretty quickly. But what that means is when you put your pump on it and you open it up, you've got a straight through shot to the tire. There's no little Presta valves, you know, holding the air back, making it hard to put air in it. I do not like Presta valve system. I can tell you that right now. You know, anytime you can put tubeless valve stems in and make them Schrader, go the Schrader route, not the Presta route, you'll be happier in the end. But what I would say about this, on the front tire, I should have rotated the stem so the ball valve is over here, so you can manipulate the ball valve with your left while you're doing stuff with your right. So on the front one, if you're right-handed, I would rotate the valve stem so the valve's on the other side. On the back, it's fine, right? So you'd work it like this. So I might switch that one around later on. We'll have to see. I mean, it's not a, you know, it's not a huge deal to do it like this, but it's better if you can do it like that. My thought. Anyway, I'm gonna start riding and then start ranting. Thanks for coming along. Alrighty, so I'm just riding along here, no pedal assisting on. I have it turned on, but the assistance is off. Just riding it like a regular mountain bike. Of course, it's heavier than a regular mountain bike, right? These bikes weigh 50 pounds, 55 pounds, compared to 25 to 30. So almost double the weight. Still rides pretty smooth, but anyway, like I said, thanks for coming along. This is besides the ride, it's more of a rant. And it's about my valve stems. So I just want to tell you, I think the mill kit valve stem system is awesome. I still like it. I think I would have liked it more if I could have got the shorter valve stems, you know, 35 millimeter. I don't know if they make 30 millimeter, but you know, my valve stems were really long. If you notice on my other videos, and they were so long, it made them feel like they were made out of plastic, because when you're trying to get a pump on it, you know, they're moving back and forth. Flexing, you felt like you were going to break them off if you weren't careful. Same thing with the little Presta valves. You know how little Presta valves, you got to unscrew the top of the plunger rod, and that plunger rod can get bent a lot of times, and then the valve leaks. Or you can bend it enough and you try to straighten it back and it breaks off. For me, that's why I don't like Presta valves. I see a lot of people complaining about Presta valves because of that. I watch videos all the time for information, and you learn from that, but not all good information from other influencers work for all situations. And hopefully I can articulate that well enough for you, what I mean by that. Sorry, no assist on here. I'm pedaling in the sand. Huffing and puffing in the camera. Woo! Okay. Yeah. All right. So, what I mean by that. So, good information that works really good for some situations do not work in all situations. And let me explain that. So, watching videos about valve stems and Presta valves and Schrader valves, and how Presta valves, the plunger rod gets bent. Well, the good information that I took from that was you don't open the top of the Presta valve all the way, unscrew it all the way. You would just unscrew it half of the way so that the top of the Presta valve has a little more support for the plunger rod and less chance of bending that plunger rod. Good information. And that works for regular stems with Presta valves. Guess where it doesn't work? And I figured this out. Doing that with a mill kit valve stem does not work. The reason why is what I showed you on my previous video is the mill kit stems have a plunger on the end of the Presta valve, which goes all the way through the stem and opens up the bottom of the stem where they have that rubber crosshatch. If you don't open that plunger rod all the way and you only do it halfway, you are not going to get the plunger to open up the rubber on the bottom of the mill kit valve stem. Yep, I did that. That was part of my problem of having trouble getting air into the tire on the trail. So I gotta go backwards a little bit because, you know, taking it all apart and putting in these other valve stems, I kind of saw one of my problems, one of my mistakes I was making on the mill kit design. So that was my fault. I still think, you know, it's a slow process with the mill kit system to put air in the tire on the trail with a hand pump, because you're going through the Presta valve and then the plunger at the bottom of the stem. So that's one of the reasons I went to the big bore, to have no obstructions. So that's where I say that really good information, which was not opening a Presta valve all the way on regular stems so you don't bend the plunger rod, is great information, but is not great information on doing that on a mill kit stem, because it won't work. Doesn't work. You got to open up that Presta valve all the way. Like I said here, back to mountain biking, you know, I'm just pedaling without pedal assist. You can do it, but I'm just going to tell you, you hardcore mountain bike guys, I used to be one. You can do it, but pat yourselves on the back. I'll pat you on the back also, but you know, here we go. I'm gonna kick in a little assist so I can move faster, farther. I can move farther, faster. And you still get exercise, because you can put as much leg power as you want into it and still get huffing and puffing. So now I still think the mill kit stem system is awesome. If I ever go back to that system, I'll probably look for shorter stems. They're kind of hard to find, either because they're sold out all the time or whatever, but probably go to shorter stems, because their system has benefits, right? Especially with their sealant. Putting their sealant in, taking it out, knowing how much sealant you have in your tire and the quality of your sealant. Very easy to do with Meal Kit. All right. So with the Meal Kit system, I could tell you how much sealant I had in my tire, and I could check and see what quality it was in, what state it was in. If it was still quality sealant, or I had to remove it and put in new sealant. Now, I don't really know how much sealant's in my tire. And, you know, I have to take my tire off the rim, at least one side of the tire off the rim, to probably get the sealant out. So anyway, that's that argument. So Meal Kit is a cool system. So on to the big bore. If you're gonna do big bore, do the hybrid. The hybrid system gives you a Schrader valve size input. Easier to put sealant in, a bigger bore air passage to put air in. The reason why I did not go to the hybrid on the big bore is because I spent $55 on a Meal Kit boost bottle. What is the boost bottle? And the boost bottle only works for Presta valve size valves. It doesn't fit a Schrader size valve. So I got the Prestas so I could continue using the boost bottle. And the boost bottle is mainly handy for reseating your tire on the rim if it comes off. So I mean, if you were actually on the trail, got a flat, and your bead got broken, came off the rim, that boost bottle will get your tire seated back on the rim. And that's why I bought the boost bottle. I wanted the boost bottle. I'm getting better at no crank strikes, but it's still kind of tough. So if you get the Muc-Off big bore system, get the Muc-Off big bore hybrid for the Schrader valve, not the Presta. But that's where I'm at right now. I've got a system down that's working for me in the garage. I showed that on the video with my pump. I haven't tried the hand pump, but it should work just fine. I'm not pumping through a Presta valve. I'm pumping just straight through a an open valve, a ball check valve, so should work just fine, no problem. Cool, no crank strikes. And really, that's my rant. You know, I could change thoughts and ideas on my next rant. We'll have to see. Crank strike. But we'll see how it goes. My Aaron, my mountain biking buddy, soon to be motorcycle companion too. He's considering these also. He wants to see them and check them out on my bike. But anyway, I'll turn this video off for now. I think I got most of that rant out. And if people have thoughts and comments, please share. But I'll keep heading up to the truck route here where I turn around. And I might videotape when I get to the other hill. That's a little bit steeper than this. You know, so thanks for riding along on my morning rides. I'm gonna have to start them earlier, like I did last year. It's still like 40 something degrees out here, which isn't bad. It's not bad on a bicycle because you're exercising. You're getting that exercise in. Woo! Okay. Boy, this gets rockier every time I come up here. Just gnarly. I will turn the camera off here in a minute. I'm not taking my hands off the handlebars right now. Holy smokes. Aaron's got his bike closer to being completed. He's waiting on some silicone water hoses. He wants to replace those, and a rear rack, but that's coming from our friends in China. So that he's speculating that could be a while, but we're close to getting her done and going on a maiden voyage to Hawthorne, Yarrington at least, and then Hawthorne if it's going good from there, then Tonopah, then Beatty, and then we see what's next. Hallelujah. All right. Alrighty, so I'm over here, you know, to one of these hill climbs. Let's see how we do. You know, it's and I think I've got 17 pounds in each tire, which, you know, I like lower pressure than that. I think the tire spins less, especially on the back. And this is a steep hill. I know you guys can't tell it, but it's steeper. Whoa. And the back tire's spinning, right? So and just so you know, I mean, yeah, I huff and puff a lot, but the microphone is 1 inch from my mouth. So most people have it on their handlebars or whew. Okay, open my jacket up. You know, you still get plenty of exercise on a e-bike, pedal assisted mountain bike. And I wouldn't have stopped, but yeah, just opening up my jacket, because yeah, I'm frying, baby. Let's see. This one, last video I got offline a little bit. You know, they're just rocky as crud. And like I said, I do like lower tire pressure, at least in the back tire. I mean, it's not doing bad. Whoa. Crank strike. Okay. Okay, but a little bit of tire slippage. But it's all good. Get a breather here. So that's that hill climb. Both of them. There's one more around that corner right there. It's rocky, but not quite as steep as those last two. All right, again, coming up to the truck route. So that's my dirt, uphill dirt portion of my ride. We're gonna hit the dirt going downhill back to Dayton. Cool off here. Getting cooled off here. You start off cold, start sweating while you're riding, get to a boiling point where you wish you had brought your backpack to put your jacket in. I'm cooling off here, and then by the time I hit the trail, you know, I'll be zipping my jacket back up, right? But this is a good, I want to say, quick ride. I think it's a little longer than 30 minutes. Probably 45. I know if I ride all the way up to Virginia City and then down the truck route and around, that's about an hour and 20 minutes, hour and 30 minutes. But gotta start doing these rides every morning or every other morning, or you know, it's practice riding in rocks for sure. You know, in Tahoe you're jumping boulders, right? I mean, you got big rocks that you gotta cross. All these rocks, you know, aren't really that big. Bigger than baby heads, bigger than gravel, but not big rocks you gotta negotiate like in Tahoe. Alrighty. So I came down this road on the right hand side over there. A lot of times, or most of the time, I come down this one. The one on the right hand side has less rocks in it. I don't think I rode up that on the China two-wheel bike. I never rode up that on this. I might be walking it, but we'll see. It's got lots of rocks in it. And steep, of course. Did I mention steep? Which side do I want to go up? I don't know. Let's see what I can do here. If I can do it, I don't know. I don't know, pretty darn steep. And that's how you get her done. Woo! Okay, we're almost home. A couple of downhills here. Alrighty. Another epic rant. I mean ride. Rant and ride. Yeah, the point of this video. Yeah, there's no points. Point of this video, get out and ride, have a good time, share your thoughts and feelings. Yeah, alrighty. Thank you for watching. and commenting. If you commented, hallelujah. We will be maybe riding tomorrow. Maybe I'll take the Chinese bike out. It's a little bit harder to pedal. Well, quite a bit harder to pedal. Alrighty, have a good one.